Good.
So I'm here today with our newly formed team at College of America. I just want to take a moment here and introduce myself. My name's Peter McGlynn. I am a participant in the bachelor's program for management, and this is our team. Jason, why don't you take a quick moment and introduce yourself to Tom here?
Hey, Tom. I'm Jason Zavasky. Pleasure to be part of the team, and thank you for inviting me to take part in this project.
Tom?
I'm Tom Burnett, also a student with SNHU, College for America, and can't wait to get this done.
Hey, I think we're all on the same page with that effort, right? So with that being said, that really leads us into the start of this conversation. Today's agenda, I sent that off to you gentlemen here, and I'll just review it quickly. We're going to have a quick meeting today, less than 30 minutes, to discuss the 10 common norms for effective teamwork. The purpose today is make sure that we can meet this deliverable for College of America. And, if we do that and we successfully engage our team into a focused conversation here, it should lead to the establishment of that paper being formed correctly. So again, today's topic will basically be leading a team. We have the attendees here. Our location for this meeting obviously is on Google Hangout as required by the project source here. And today is 2018, December 14th, and it's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So with that said, gentlemen, let's start off with some basic ground rules for this our meeting here before we get into identifying the norms. I think we'll go a little bit deeper into this further after the fact, but I want to make sure that we're all on board with how we're going to tackle this meeting. Is that agreeable to you?
Yep.
So we'll make sure that we keep things on track. I'll try to facilitate this. If you really want to get a point across, or we're talking, and we're not getting through to you, I want to make sure that we're raising our hands if we want to interject, so we're not cutting anybody off, and we're respectful of other people's ability to bring their topics up. We'll work through this list as efficiently as we can here, and I want to make sure that by the time we're done with this project, everybody's agreeable to turning this in, and we're all in consensus that this is the body of work that we want to represent as ours. Does that sound good?
Works for me.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, we're moving along pretty good here. We're on, a good timeline to get this done, and it gives us a little extra time to get to these social norms. So I'll start off. I just penciled down some social norms, and I'll give two examples of what I'm thinking about for the social norms to kick off the discussion, and we can have a talk about those after the fact. But I think that one of the things that we have to do too is start off by setting a clear agenda for our meetings. How does that sound to you two?
Yep, that's important.
Good. Seems important. Keeps us on track.
Yeah, so I'll put that down too as one of our first actions for their meetings. The other thing that we want to do is make sure that what we're working on. I can't read the second one here that I had on my list. Tom or Jason, do you have the second number here that we're listed on?
Yeah, you had mentioned when we talked briefly before the meeting about everyone consistently contributing. When they're involved in the meeting and making sure that we're all active participants.
Sounds like it's right here, and I definitely wanted to go over that. Tom, did that sound? I know we started that conversation earlier. That's why I didn't have the pencil down, because we hadn't asked you yet if that was okay with you to put down as one of the social norms.
Yeah, no, I think that's important along with team consensus. I think having both those pieces are important to make sure that everybody has a chance to be heard, as well as everybody agrees with the route that we're taking. So.
Sounds good. Jason, what are your thoughts on something else that we could add to this?
I think one thing that can derail a meeting faster than anything is sidebar conversations. It can be very distracting, pulls the attention away from the material. And I read a fascinating statistic in the information that they provided about if you had a team of 15 and one sidebar takes 1 minute, it equates to about 15 minutes of lost time. So I didn't realize that. So sidebars would be good to keep those at a minimum to none at all.
I agree. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, nothing's more annoying than when you're trying to host a meeting and somebody's talking over you in the background. So I think it's important to make sure those sidebars stay at a minimum, if not at all. So.
All right. Do you have any ideas for one that you would like to add in here, Tom? I know you've done some work on this.
Yeah, I think making sure that we don't have things distracting us. I'm probably the biggest offender of that, where I keep multiple things going at the same time. So just making sure that we focus on what's the project at hand, so we're not distracted by other things during the meetings.
Makes sense to me. You know, what kind of things normally interrupt, like that we could potentially could interrupt Jason and I? Do you think that maybe like similar to you that we could probably try? Do you have any methods or solutions to slowing that down?
Well, the first step is make sure all other devices are muted.
Right.
That way your notifications aren't going off, your phone's not ringing.
Yeah, right
now. Yeah. That's a big factor, I think. So.
I agree. So that sounds good to me. Jason, how about you? Any other of these norms that we want to tackle right out of the gate?
Yeah, I think another good one is we can all be guilty of getting bogged down in the minutia of stuff and have, something that we're discussing kind of branch off into several different discussions and several different issues and everything. So I think if we put in a parking lot where if it's not pertinent to the conversation, we can put it over there, document it, and circle back to it later, and even add it as an action item if needed for follow-up in a future meeting.
Makes sense. The other thing I was thinking about, because we're all really type A personalities, or especially I know Jason and I are. Tom, you're a little bit on that. So
That's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Jason and I are going to have to really, really try not to be dominant in the conversation. So we'll try to, make sure that we're inclusive of getting your opinion on these asks and for these upcoming videos that we're going to be making.
It'd be appreciated.
Does Jason do that to you today? I mean, is that a challenge that we have?
No. I just tend to sit and listen a little bit more than some people. So I tend to take a little bit of a back seat in conversations. So being forced to be is probably a good thing. So
sitting back and just listening to what you're saying or the other person saying, just taking in a little bit more and then giving them a chance to talk makes sense then.
Yep.
All right. Does that sound agreeable to you, Jason?
Yeah.
You feeling all right over there? You're not going to die on us here through this project, right?
No, I'm good. I actually think that segues into another good one where it's, also to avoid having that dominant personality kind of taking over a meeting. Any ideas that are brought up should be immediately discussed, through the team for consensus. I know Tom had mentioned earlier how critical team consensus is. I think that when items are brought up, that's the time to start having the discussion to make sure everybody's agreeable to either what it is or the way it was stated so that everyone has a clear understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I think that forward with making sure that gets done. We had all talked about that. I agree completely. Part of that responsibility, I think, for us is to show up to these meetings on time, because we're all very busy individuals. We all run pretty major projects within our company, so I think that our commitment to our time and to getting this project done is going to be really imperative for us to be successful here. What do you think?
Yep. I'm making sure that we live up to the commitments that we put forth and are timely with those deliverables is going to be key. So we all want to get it done. So we're going to make sure we pull our weight.
We do all want to get this done. That's for sure. So, the no distractions too is another thing, like we had brought up. I think, the other thing, the final thing that we can go through here, and I think we've already actually, believe it or not, hit 10 things, but is to maintain, on our meetings, a professional tone, not that we can't have fun while we're doing this, but, just remember as we're going through this, that we do have an agenda that we have to meet. We do have to accomplish these tasks, and we want to submit and get approved on our first attempt. So we really want to make sure that we maintain that professionalism as we're going through that, which I think for us will be more of certain the fact that we are getting to a goal and we all agree to it.
I think it might be a little more challenging for some than others, but.
So, yeah, I mean, and again, consensus on this project doesn't mean that we all have to agree. I think that was something that when we read that, we all discussed that, and it was that, as long as we can go home after these projects are done and we can sleep at night, that we feel like we got them accomplished, so we'll pass, and frankly, and that we'll succeed in this project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you guys have any other things that you want to bring up for the call here, or for the social norms that we need to discuss? I'm just checking our time here. We have some extra time, and I want to make sure that we really cover the bases here.
I think it's important too to make sure that our computers are ready. It kind of leads into that punctuality point, right? But not having to spend 30 minutes or an hour, trying to get everything set up and working last minute is going to help all of us too.
Yeah, we'll have our challenges on the way. Today was the first time we did this, so we had some technical difficulties out of the way, but we overcame them, though, didn't we?
That's right.
We definitely did. And Jason, many thanks.
If you need me to talk you through how to do it, I'm more than happy.
Great. Hey, I'm welcome to the criticism here. I'm all too happy to take it. So let's just kind of review what I have written down here, and if I've missed something, please speak up. So right now, we started off with a clear agenda. I think we'll succeed in that, no problem. We discussed, no sidebars. Jason, that was your topic that you spoke about. We talked about everyone will consistently contribute. The team will communicate with each other and not through me. I don't know if we covered that one. When we're talking or discussing on this product, by all means, I'm just here as a facilitator. So Tom, and Jason, if you got a conversation going here, it doesn't have to come through me at all in order to, bring this to a solution. And I think as we go forward in the conversations that we'll have after this project, that's important. How does that sound right? About right?
Yeah.
So,
makes sense.
all right. And then, coming to consensus is obviously something we want to do. Jason and I'll work on communication domination.
Working on it right now.
Working on it. Everyone will be on time, so we're all very timely people. I don't feel that will be a challenge for us, but we're going to ensure that we do make that. And exceptions in life do happen, so if we do have to reschedule, by all means, everybody knows how to reach everybody here. We have each other's contact information, and we'll be agreeable to making for life's interruption when they happen. We'll put any of our problems or things that we don't believe initially belong into our projects in the parking lot, Jason, as you had said. We'll eliminate distractions. Good point. We should shut off our phones prior to the meetings. I know I'm using one here right now to manage our time, but other than that, I think that we can just shut those off. And then finally, like we said, maintain a professional, atmosphere on our calls, and remember that we're working towards a goal here for our bachelor's degree. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
I think you covered it.
All right. Well, with that being said, we need to discuss the next time we're going to meet. And what are you guys thinking?
So
Well, I mean, if everything
Monday.
goes well, I think we could try to meet up on Monday, assuming we get the access to the next assignment and can start working on that. Or if not, then we can revise the work that we need to, assuming that we get feedback by then. But Monday at noontime works for me if everybody else can support.
That works for me.
So, Jason and Tom, we feel that over the weekend we'll have time to, or a budgeted time that we can budget for the school reading. Well, we at least could read the next assignment, right, prior to the thing. So even if this
You can.
does come up, okay. So
And
even if we don't have access to the sheets, maybe we can do that because it may be. Well, we'll see. We'll submit today, and then we'll see how that works.
so from the look of it, it looks like you just need to submit the 10 common norms document, and then all of us have to submit 2 documents in order to pass through to the next project.
Okay.
So if we can all get that done tonight, it would, or by Saturday at the latest, Saturday night at the latest, we'd be able to move forward and be right on track for Monday.
That makes sense. All right. With that, I want to thank you guys for your time today. I think this is
I don't think we're quite done yet. So we didn't assign the next facilitator. So
right.
either Jason or myself, right? So Jason, did you have a preference on?
I can do it. I'm open to doing it.
Okay.
That'll be fine. I'll take a look at the material tonight and start getting my preparation together. And I'm already familiar with how to do the YouTube channel, so that'll save us one hiccup.
Yep. And then I'll take the third assignment.
Now,
Facilitate.
the videos don't get submitted until project 3. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
So
we
I'll just keep them saved.
Each meeting.
Keep them saved. Yep.
And then I think the other thing we were supposed to figure out was, kind of the agenda for the next meeting, right? So did you want to work on that by yourself, Jason? Did you want to talk through some of that now?
What I can do is I can throw one together and
if you want to mirror mine,
you guys for input.
Yeah, if you want to mirror like just what I have, it's a very simple, agenda with the minutes. I took it right out of our materials, so we can just use that.
Yeah, send that to me again if you could.
Absolutely.
And I can probably mirror something like that. So it looks like this one's going to be about putting together a memo.
All right. Sounds good. We'll meet again then Monday.
All right. Works for me.
Thank you.
Have fun, guys.
All right. Thanks.